All right, guys, good evening, and what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for my live review of NXT UK that took place, this week's episode that took place, well, both episodes, since we're still on the 2 episodes a week until they get completely caught up with the summer tapings. As there was apparently some tapings that happened the 25th and 26th also for NXT UK. It just happened fairly recently, I think, also, as it was also announced over the past couple days that there will be an NXT UK takeover in January. It'll be January 12th. It'll be NXT UK takeover Blackpool, which I will maybe do card predictions for that. We'll see what happens, but I may do that as well, because again, NXT UK has definitely been interesting. There's still some talents I'm really trying to get to know, but I really felt this week's 2 episodes put the nail on the hammer again for some other situations as to where other people are going to be going from here on out. For now, I feel like most of the matches we had were storyline development, at least, and we had a couple championship matches. Of course, we had our first NXT UK Women's Champion crown, and we had a great UK Championship match as well in the main event of the first match. I mean, the first episode of this week's tapings. So overall, I gotta say, it was probably one of the stronger weeks for NXT UK. I'm not saying that the previous ones were weak; they weren't weak, but again, as I kept saying, we gotta get some storylines, coming forward. And I think we have more of a clear-cut picture where we're going with some people, and more stars were developed thanks to what we got this week for NXT UK. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's talk about episode 1. We opened up with a tag team match, actually, in the women's division. It was Xia Brookside and Millie McKenzie. Oh, Millie McKenzie. Both young girls, definitely very talented, taking on Killer Kelly, which she was in the Mae Young Classic, and I was definitely impressed with her, so I'm glad she is sticking around. I wasn't sure she was going to stick around at first for NXT UK, since after she had one match with Dakota Kai and then just disappeared, but she is sticking around. And also, someone named Charlie Morgan. The first one I saw the name come up, I'm like, this is a woman coming out to wrestle, right? But it was, of course, just a bigger looking woman in Charlie Morgan. Well, not big like, Rhea Ripley big, but, seemed a little like tall and thin, pretty much, in my opinion, just from my view of watching it. This is just a simple tag match. Here's the other thing too. I think I want to talk about this too, because I'll talk about this when we do NXT UK and 205 Live. I didn't get to watch NXT yet, by the way. I will watch NXT after I review NXT UK and 205 Live. I do apologize again; these reviews are coming late because Survivor ended up being a 2-hour show this week, so that's why these are coming late. And I didn't get to watch NXT yet. So this is just NXT UK and 205 Live. Now maybe you have to wait tomorrow to review NXT. But anyways, get back on track. What's some of you guys have noticed about Triple H's shows? How many tag team matches do we have involving random people, like random single stars all the time? Not that often. And when they happen, they feel somewhat special. I'm not saying this match was special, but this was an appropriate tag team match to get some talent from the women's division. Talent we've already seen in the tournament in Xia Brookside and Millie McKenzie, who are both like 20 and 18 years old, very talented, definitely great upcoming stars for sure. Taking on, a little more better presence than like Killer Kelly, and then whoever Charlie Morgan is. Not sure who she is, but we'll see where we go with her as well. I thought this is an appropriate tag match just to show, like, hey, there's more to this women's division than just what we're going to be getting in the main event of the second episode tonight. And it was a pretty good match, I gotta say. Brookside and McKenzie took control on the early stages. Brookside hit a couple of hurricanranas at the beginning. The variation of suplexes also from Millie McKenzie, who is going to live a suplex city chance as well. Killer Kelly gained some momentum for a tangent. She slammed Millie McKenzie into a turnbuckle, but then it was a nice finish as McKenzie speared Morgan in the middle of the ring when the referee, the heels were trying to pull heel tactics, but to, get them to the pretty much, not succeed. Millie McKenzie was not the legal. She came in and hit a spear on Charlie Morgan, and then Xia Brookside that came into the middle of the ring and then rolled up Morgan to get the victory for her team. But it was a solid women's tag match. Just show off the talents of the two young upcoming stars and more of the veterans in Killer Kelly and Charlie Morgan. I don't really know much about her yet. But definitely just showcase their talents. And I thought it was appropriate. It was a strong match, definitely, to get a women's match on the card for the first episode. So a good opening match. I definitely approved of it. We had Eddie Dennis taking on Ashton Smith. Whoop! Still think it's a little corny, but I still do have an interest in definitely seeing where NXT UK goes with Ashton Smith. As this was kind of like Eddie Dennis taking up to another level. Ashton Smith already a talent, a somewhat established babyface. It's taking on is putting over Eddie Dennis, who has this story, as I keep saying, is he's one guy I'm definitely very interested in. I keep saying Eddie Dennis, and again, it would not surprise me if Eddie Dennis is built up to be the one to dethrone Pete Dunne. I really think there is a chance we could be seeing that. Maybe a takeover Blackpool, UK Blackpool, maybe. Who knows? But I think that especially getting to a more serious talent in Eddie Dennis and Ashton Smith also shows that what they're doing so far is working, with him pretty much just wanting to come here and just draw right past Dunn and Andrews, who have been able to live their dream sooner than he has. He was in the education business for how long? But Ashton Smith started off getting him down with a drop kick, but Eddie turned things around. Smith did have a rally towards the end, but it was not enough, as Smith failed to win with a leg drop lariat. Dennis then hit the Severn Bridge and the next stop driver to pick up the victory. And I think obviously Ashton Smith is definitely an over baby face for sure, with his little whoop noise for sure. But again, Eddie Dennis is definitely being built as a very interesting character. Definitely. And I do think so far he's off to a great start, both character-wise and in-ring wrestling-wise. So again, I am very interested to see where they go further on here. But another good match, I gotta say, for this show. I give it a solid thumbs up. We then had Saxon Huxley taking on Joseph Connors, or Jesus and Judas. Apparently, that's what people think they look like. That's what they were chanting throughout this match. This is just kind of like a fallout match from what happened last week, as Saxon Huxley and Joseph Connors were trying to be part of a tag team at first, but then things didn't work out, and Joseph Connors turned on him. It kind of looked like a Lars Sullivan, I said last week, kind of like what Lars Sullivan was doing his early days in NXT. He was being part of tag teams, but then of course his opponents were causing him to lose, and he just beat the crap out of them. So I thought maybe that was kind of a little bit of an angle that happened with Joe Connors. Wasn't a bad match. I mean, obviously these two are getting reactions. I'm not sure how popular they are. I did get a little bit bored of them, Connors, vicious elbow shots onto Huxley and whatnot. Those dragged out a little bit, but it wasn't a bad match. But these are definitely guys, I gotta say, I'm still trying to get behind a little bit. Pretty much what I want to say. It did get them a lot of time, and again, the fans were very into it. But yeah, I think that the story was more invested into it, again, as obviously, Joseph Connors is Judas betraying Saxon Huxley, looks like Jesus and whatnot. Basically. But that's what we got there. So I don't know what's down the line for Huxley and Connors. We'll have to wait and see. And then finally, we got our main event of episode 1. It was Pete Dunne taking on Jordan Devlin for the United Kingdom Championship. Now, I've been saying for a couple weeks now, Jordan Devlin obviously was a big name for me, especially when I watched him in the UK tournaments that WWE was having. Obviously he has like a Finn Balor background, and Finn Balor, persona to him looks like, well, not a demon source or whatnot, but he reminds me a lot of Finn Balor because he's Irish and his style is similar. I just felt that for a few weeks they weren't giving him like that big opportunity yet to really shine. He was taking on some guys who just don't, have potential, but don't have much of a direction yet. This match though really brought him up to a whole nother level. And this, in my opinion, was definitely one of Pete Dunne's toughest opponents, I gotta say, so far. This was physical from the beginning. Pete Dunne was targeting the fingers, but then Devlin gained the momentum very early, hitting a huge right forearm and just kind of knocked Pete Dunne off his feet. Like, you don't see that often. Devlin had done with a couple different Spanish flies that were just absolutely awesome to see, and definitely knocked Pete Dunne off of his game. There was a near 10 count for a double count out. Dunne then kicked out of the reverse hurricanrana despite injuring his back when he failed to cover Devlin in time after he hit the bitter end on him. He would hit another Spanish fly from the top rope before attempting a moonsault, but then Dunne countered it and made Devlin then submit after snapping the fingers, and then he kind of just did like a bend back wrist lock and whatnot to get Devlin to tap out. Now, I know you got Devlin to tap out. Like I said, Devlin showed a huge physical side to him in this match. I definitely showed that he was definitely a threat for Pete Dunne's championship. It was one of those matches, again, that one I felt was some of Pete Dunne's toughest competition with that UK title on the line to date for sure. And two, it made Jordan Devlin look like a really huge threat on the roster as well. I mean, Devlin lost, but he lost strong. Like, he became a big superstar in this match for sure. It was clear that Dunne was probably going to retain in the match, but it was a great story to try to convince us that, hey, maybe there is a chance that Devlin can win this, and that's exactly what they succeeded with. So an awesome match, awesome main event for the first show. Again, a good way to, get some momentum going for Jordan Devlin for sure, as he definitely is for sure a future champion. I definitely see it for sure, especially with the physical side he showed in this match tonight. Before we get on to part two, check the live chat. Nobody in the live chat, that's okay. So let's get on to episode 2, where we did crown the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion at the end of this episode. We started off with first was supposed to be Sid Scala taking on Joe Coffey, as Scala in one of last week's shows requested for an opportunity. He wanted an opportunity to prove himself. He's been on a losing streak to start off with. He wants an opportunity, which I thought I still feel he's feeling like jobber status, but who knows where to go with it. So Joe Coffey came out, and he pushed aside Mark Coffey and Wolfgang, saying he's doing this on his own. Sid Scala came out in a suit saying he was not medically cleared to compete, but Johnny Saint gave him an opportunity to introduce who would be replacing him, which was Tyler Bate. And keep in mind, one of the recent episodes where we had Trent Seven take on, it was Wolfgang, one of the Coffey brothers recently, and they did beat down Trent Seven in a backstage fallout segment, pretty much saying that, one member of British Strong Style got down, 2 more to go, whatnot. Pretty much like saying they're setting their sights on British Strong Style, since again they want NXT UK to be their kingdom. They want to rule this, and obviously they know they have to go through the 3 biggest men. That's Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, and Pete Dunne. So Tyler Bate came out ready for a fight. I'm like, okay, this is pretty awesome. Let's see how this goes. Was a pretty good match, as I keep saying, as I always put over Tyler Bate. Despite being a smaller guy, more like a cruiserweight, he is able to adapt to any style of wrestling he faces, whether it's a cruiserweight, a big man, regular opponent and whatnot. He's able to get the job done amazing. They start off though right away as soon as the bell rang with just punches. Coffey and Wolfgang would then return to ringside. Coffey then caused a distraction, and Wolfgang, of course, did as well. But when that happened, Trent Seven came down to the ramp to pretty much, try to get a little bit of the odds, not as much stacked against Tyler. It looked like, Bate was taking control to go to victory, but then Mark Coffey and Wolfgang went into attack. And it was a 3-on-2 assault that caused a disqualification, which, yeah, it would have been nice not to see a match with Tyler Bate and then disqualification. But as they're brawling, all of a sudden you hear Pete Dunne's music hits, and Pete Dunne came running out to even up the odds to pretty much shoo away the Coffey brothers and Wolfgang. And this is obviously a very great post-match angle that's obviously teasing for a match down the line with British Strong Style and the Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang in a 6-man tag match. And also, I still feel my opinion, whenever they do have the match for the NXT UK tag titles, which I feel is the next thing to focus on now that we have an NXT UK Women's Champion, I feel that that's probably gonna be the Coffee Brothers over Mustache Mountain, but we will see a 6-man tag match involving British Strong Style and Wolfgang and the Coffee Brothers for sure. So I definitely am very excited to see what happens with that match. So great angle to definitely set that up. We had El Ligero taking on Dan Maloney. Not sure who Dan Maloney is. It was a decent match. The fans were, it's probably the weakest match of both shows this week. The fans were chanting for the sake of chanting, of course. This is two guys that there's not much really going for either one of these guys. Like El Ligero is probably the bigger star here. I mean, he got the victory, but I mean it was probably one of the matches I wasn't too interested in because it really isn't much going right now for El Ligero. So just a decent match, I gotta say. Not really too much to say about this match. We then had another not bad tag match between Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams and Zach Gibson and James Drake. Again, continue to establish tag teams. Still disappointed, though, that they seem to be going in more of like a tag team direction with Zach Gibson, because I really felt that he was going to be just a single star. Now he's working with James Drake. Don't know if they'll eventually be feuding for the tag titles. But I thought the match they had with Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams, I keep pointing over how good I am definitely in Kenny Williams also as well. I think he has some great singles potential, even like great mid-card potential as well if he ever gets to the main roster. Definitely, I thought that that was interesting as well. Of course, the match maybe revolved around the NXT UK fans' disdain for Zach Gibson, Amir Jordan's inability to tag in Kenny Williams for large spells. Williams then took out Gibson and Drake at ringside with a drop kick, but it didn't take long for Gibson and Drake to isolate Williams, with Gibson hitting the ticket to ride for the victory. It was still a solid tag match for sure, but again, I'm a little disappointed again that they're throwing Zach Gibson in a random tag team. I definitely think he's meant to be a single star since he's already has a lot of great heel heat on him already. And finally, we got the main event of both shows. It was the finals for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm, the winner of the 2018 Mae Young Classic. We did have two really good video packages, of course, getting a better look at both Storm and Ripley before this match started, of course. But right away, what gave Ripley the advantage over Toni Storm, of course, keep in mind too, this was probably taped before Toni Storm won the Mae Young Classic, for sure. But she obviously, we now watch it, months down the line. We knew that Toni Storm, being Toni Storm, you had to do a lot to do so. That's what happened when Rhea Ripley pretty much hurt Toni's back at the beginning of this match with this. She was thrown to the barricade and against the ring apron. Toni Storm was continuing to fight back with the offense. She then hit 3 suplexes to gain control. She attempted a Storm Zero, but her back gave out, allowing Rhea Ripley to take advantage by hitting the Riptide to win the NXT UK Women's Championship, being the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. I mean, I know, of course, some people claim that, the viewer, it was already revealed Rhea was going to win, so it wasn't as big of a deal then, but it was still awesome. The crowd still was definitely stunned, though, whenever Ripley won the match. Definitely, I mean, I think it was, like Toni Storm felt, her winning the championship would have been great, but, definitely, she already is established as, like, championship material. Rhea Ripley, of course, came a little bit short in Mae Young Classic, definitely had potential, but this was WWE capitalizing on her momentum as well to get someone else fresh in that position who definitely probably needs a little bit more than Toni Storm. I don't expect Toni Storm to be staying out of the UK title picture. We could see another match between them at TakeOver Blackpool, or even again if they want to get Dakota Kai involved, maybe, or who knows who will get involved. I'd say it'll be up either Tony Storm or Dakota Kai fighting for the UK women's title at Takeover Liverpool. But it was an awesome match, a great post-match celebration with Triple H and Johnny Saint, which once again Triple H comes out and acknowledges his talents. Like I said the other week, the other day on one of my reviews, when has Vince ever done that? Never, pretty much. But the rest of the roster got on the stage to applaud the new champion. But definitely that, and of course that tag match we got earlier, the first match of this week's episodes with Brookside and Millie McKenzie taking on Charlie Morgan and Killer Kelly. Obviously, the women's division is for sure stacked. A lot of potential. I'm sure we're not going to get repetitive matches like we do on the main roster. Raw, are you listening to me? But yeah, I'm happy Rhea Ripley is champion. Just give her a profile picture, please, on the WWE app. Don't have blanks. Here, look. Once again, as I keep saying, for how many weeks now, there's still all these blanks except for the talent who are already existent before NXT UK existed. But look at this. This bothers me. It really bothers me. Just like Bobby Lashley still does not have a profile picture yet. See, Rhea Ripley is listed as champion, but she does not have a profile picture. So Dakota Kai has one. Of course, she's on NXT. Scrolling down, we have absolutely nothing. Well, we got Noam Dar and Pete Dunne. Keep going. Trent Seven and Tyler Bate. Of course, they have profile pictures. Nobody else does. Get profile pictures. Don't make all these blanks. It's driving me crazy. Stupid little pet peeve, I know. But Rhea Ripley is your first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. Of course, it sounds weird because Pete Dunne's championship is the WWE United Kingdom champion. Why can't you just call it the United Kingdom Women's Championship or something like that? You know, doesn't quite make sense to me. But oh well, I'm not going to complain. I still would like a little bit better design for the belt because it's just pretty much the men's one with a white strap. But it is what it is, and we're probably going to get better booking with that belt than we do with any of the Raw Women's Championship, at least that is. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. That is it for my live review of NXT UK, both episodes this week. Again, we had 2 really good episodes, pretty good matches as well. Again, we see the pieces to the puzzles like being planted a lot more solid now. So with that being said, I want to give this week's episode of NXT UK an A-. A- for NXT UK. What grade do you give NXT UK for both shows this week? Your thoughts down in the comment section below. And there's always a click my like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheManAirBody3. I'm going to be right back up here again for my 205 live review. And I'm going to watch NXT, which I'll probably wait till tomorrow to review NXT. Because it's getting late. But so stay tuned for one more review tonight, and I will review 205 Live next and watch NXT before I go to bed, and then I'll review it probably first thing when I get up tomorrow. So guys, thank you for joining me live. I'll catch you guys next time. So until then, guys, peace out, everybody.